What's up, y'all? Welcome back. A Fitness Live portion every Sunday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern Time.
Good morning.
Today, we're talking about the number one best exercise to get huge. It can only be one, and we got to pick one. But first, updates. Prep's going well. I'm down 9 pounds in 2 weeks. Way ahead of schedule. We scheduled out a rate of loss of 1.6 pounds a week. So I'm way ahead of schedule, which is great. We'll keep that rolling. Hopefully stay ahead of schedule and get some cheat meals in. But
yeah,
going good, losing fat, keeping muscle.
That's right.
2 weeks in, it's not even hard yet. So
yep, I'm a little different. I did a little mini cut, and now I'm going to be maintaining for about 8 weeks until I start my 20-week cut to my next show in November. So I'm pretty excited about that. Been able to raise the calories the last couple of weeks while still staying at the same weight. So, hey, that's good. Bring on those gains. Yeah.
If you can eat more and stay at the same weight, you're winning. You know, anytime you can get more food in while staying lean,
yeah, I'm going to keep pushing that envelope, see how high I can get it before going into my cut, and while keeping that cardio at a minimum right now.
Right on. All right, so number one, best exercise. This is subjective, number one. There's no scientific evidence out there saying one exercise is better than the other. So this is opinion. This is, somewhat educated because we have experience with ourselves and with clients. So, Camille.
First off, when James told me about this topic, I think I had an aneurysm because I'm an engineer and I'm like, for what? Exercise for what? Like,
for muscle hypertrophy.
What are my bounds? Like,
for mass.
What, like, body part? Like, an engineer scientist just, like, explodes when they hear open-ended questions like that. So, yeah, it's a good question, though. All right, you ready to hear my answer?
Yes.
All right. I think the number one exercise is a barbell thruster. So for all of you out there that aren't into CrossFit, that's just front squat into an overhead press.
Why do you think that's the best one?
So I think that's a total body exercise. You're hitting every single muscle group. Everything from the legs, even the forearms are engaged in that. I mean, as you go down into that squat, one, you're doing a barbell squat. So you are using quads and your legs and your hamstrings and your glutes, especially to get out of the hole at the bottom. You're definitely using those glutes and hamstrings to get you out of the hole. And then comes the press part, which again is using just about every muscle in your upper body, not to mention the core support and strength that you have to keep the torso upright during this movement. So pretty good, well-rounded exercise. And it's not only a good exercise, it incorporates aspects of endurance. So if you're doing a lot of reps of these, you're definitely gonna blow through those slow twitch muscle fibers. And then if you get explosive with it, you're gonna recruit those type 2s, which is really great for building muscle. So, all right, that was a lot, but that's my number one.
All right, that was a lot. Holy cow.
I'm an engineer. I like to scientist it up.
I'm going to disagree, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to disagree, and then I'm going to tell you my favorite, and then Camille's going to disagree and tell you why she disagrees, all right? So think about it when you're talking about a thruster, what are they doing? They're exploding. They're using momentum. They're not using muscles. They're moving that weight. There's no mind to muscle connection. There's no nothing. And on top of that, look at CrossFit physiques. They don't look like bodybuilders. Sure, some of them look great, but they don't look like bodybuilders. They aren't training for max muscle hypertrophy. I've had bodybuilders go try CrossFit and stop pretty quickly because they're losing gains because there's just too much cardio involved with that workout, which Camille touched on with endurance. If you're training for muscle hypertrophy, you're not training for endurance. They're counterproductive. You can train hard or you can train long. You can't do both. And if you're training for endurance, you're training long. You're not training for muscle hypertrophy. So those are just a few reasons why I would not choose that exercise to be the best one, right? And I didn't even know she was going to say that until a couple minutes ago. So that was my rebuttal on a very quick notice. My number one exercise for muscle mass to get huge, deadlifts. Now, a lot of people are going to argue squats. Squats are up there, believe me, but I got to give the edge to deadlifts. I can lift more. Most clients can lift more weight on the deadlift than they can squats. It's better biomechanically for my body. Some people are built for squats. I am not. So deadlifts are a lot more comfortable. You can load up the weight. You're literally working every single muscle in your body. Every single one. I mean, you name it, you're working it. It hits every single muscle from your heels to your forehead. Deadlift is the king exercises. If you want gains, start deadlifting and deadlift heavy. That is the number one best exercise, in my opinion.
All right. First of all, I was misled. I wasn't told we were doing number one exercise for gains or hypertrophy. That part was left out. So that might have affected my answer. But
what do you think the best exercise was for?
Just total health and wellness. This is the problem with not defining the parameters of your open-ended question. So yeah, I mean, I would tend to agree with James. If we are talking about increasing muscle size, then yeah, the deadlift is pretty good. I would tend to agree with him there. So I don't really have a rebuttal there. I was misled.
So 8 is a good point. 88, we're focused on bodybuilders. We're both bodybuilders. We're both competitors. If you're general health, I mean, the thruster is great exercise for general health.
I mean, I was kind of picking something that had a cardiovascular aspect, still had like a strength and endurance aspect. I thought it was pretty well rounded. But with this new information,
it's obviously not the best, right?
Yeah, it's obviously not the best.
Right. So there's research. You can start getting waste products and aerobically exhausted before you're anaerobically exhausted. So, you want to keep your reps pretty low to get to failure, 6 to 10. You get above 10, now you're tapping into aerobics. You're going to lose your breath. Instead of going to muscle failure, you're going to go to cardio failure.
I mean, the same thing can actually happen with just high intensity reps that are low. I mean, you can get to a point where you're, recruiting so much muscle fiber, so much energy that you really do need to take a second and do that rest pause kind of technique to allow that waste product to flush out again.
Good point. If you are getting that, rest pause is a very, very good technique to get rid of that, get around it.
Yeah.
So you do one rep at your max weight, rest for 10 seconds, another rep, rest for 10 seconds, another rep, rest for 10 seconds. It is your max weight, so it's max effort every single rep. But when you're resting, the rest products are going away. You're catching your breath. So it's all anaerobic.
Yeah.
There's no aerobic work involved with it. So, deadlifts.
You want an all well-rounded barbell thrusters. I feel cheated, y'all.
You're not going to find a bodybuilder out there that doesn't deadlift. I bet you money that. I mean, look at the GOAT, Ronnie Coleman. My man's deadlifting 800 pounds for reps. I hear you with the squats, and I'm sure somebody's going to comment something about squats being king, but to me, they're second. Deadlifts are the king, man.
Yeah.
Back, hamstrings, glutes. If you have a weak back, your lats are weak, start deadlifting. Your traps are weak, start deadlifting. Your glutes are weak, start deadlifting.
A lot of times, too, when I'm going real heavy on the deadlifts, I'll actually feel it in my biceps as well.
Yeah.
So,
forearms, biceps, literally every single muscle, shoulders, you name it, it's hitting them. And if you do it right and put max effort into it, you're going to feel it everywhere. And, after 6 reps, I got to sit down for 4 minutes to catch my breath. That's how intense it is, The leg day is when I do deadlifts, and it takes, I'm doing legs probably twice as long as every other day because it's that intense.
The extra rest.
And you got to catch your breath in between the sets and keep pushing.
Oh, yeah. My clients know that for sure.
So, if you have a different opinion, we'd love to hear it.
I definitely want to hear it.
Go ahead and leave us a comment. Let's say, universally, the big ones are overhead press, bench press, deadlift, squats, about it.
Yeah. I mean, they're all compound exercises, so there's a theme there.
They're all powerlifting moves. Powerlifters have a lot of muscle mass. I mean, they do.
Oh, yeah.
They're just covered in fat. Most of them. I can't say all of them. But most powerlifters got a lot of muscle mass. They just don't diet. You know, being big and being heavy is part of the sport, so they don't cut it down. But believe me, they got a lot of muscle mass.
I love it when they do, though. Like, we have a few friends on Instagram that will actually cut down and do bodybuilding shows, and it's so fun for me to see that transformation of them.
Yeah. And they all have great legs.
Oh, yeah.
Great back.
No doubt.
Keep that in mind. So, like I said, if you have a different opinion, let us know. If not, hey, let us know you agree with the deadlift, right?
Hey, now.
All right. Yeah.
No.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. This is for you. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to see something, just leave us a comment and we'll get to it.
Bye, y'all.